Okay, here we go. Got that video I was telling you about.
What I love about UTRGV is their friendly atmosphere. Everyone I've met here has always greeted me with a positive attitude and the willingness to help others.
The reason I chose UTRGV is because it feels like home. Everyone here is very friendly. We can literally start a class not knowing anyone and end up being really close friends by the end of the semester.
UTRGV feels like home, and I love our campus and all of our professors here.
What makes UTRGV special is its culture. Being in close proximity to the Mexican border and as well as South Padre Island, we do have a lot of different events that coincide with our cultures.
Student life at UTRGV is great. We can hang out at the student union, we can attend basketball games, volleyball games.
A lot of student activities. The ones that I love the most are UTRGV Madness, the end of the year celebration, the pep rallies, the games.
There's always something to do on campus, whether it's joining a club or being part of a fraternity or going out for intramural sports.
Reading of the letters gives me chills. Everyone there is full of school spirit. Everyone there is dancing, hanging out with friends. It's just an awesome experience.
So the burning of the letters is a great event. It's one of the biggest events of the year. That's when you see, faculty, alumni, students all coming together to celebrate UTRGV.
I go to work here, I go to school here, and I have all my friends here.
UTRGV offers work study. It allows me to work on campus, pay for my tuition, and pay for my books. Best part of all, they work with your class schedule.
There's a lot of opportunities at UTRGV, whether it's working for the library, the bookstore, or the student union.
UTRGV provides a lot of opportunities such as being a research assistant or being an orientation leader, being a tour guide, and those opportunities open up a lot of doors.
I was able to be exposed to the research world here at UTRGV, which is pretty awesome because I get to be able to do what I want to do with my career.
UTRGV has the best faculty. They're from all over the world. They're extremely friendly and always willing to help.
Through UTRGV, I was able to obtain my bachelor's degree, and now I'm working towards my master's degree, and that has really transformed my life.
Okay, so I just wanted to share that video. You possibly may have seen it in our booth. So really quick, my name is Andy Scott, and I am actually the North Texas representative for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. So I recruit students from the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area, East Texas, West Texas, and the Panhandle. I know that some of you are not from those areas, and maybe you saw this on social media, and that's great. I'm still excited you're here. I'm going to give you lots of great information. But I wanted to throw this link into the chat really quick. So I'm going to go over a lot of stuff, but I'm actually not going to touch on every single major, but I'm happy to answer questions about all of them. So the link that I just shared, and I shared it to the waiting room, not to the meeting, so hang on one second. There we go. So that link that I just shared is actually this booklet. Chat me if you are having any issues viewing that, but this is our brochure that you can view in our virtual booth. And if you scroll down a couple pages, you're gonna find this list of degrees to choose from. So while I'm presenting, if you wanna scroll through that, and if there's something specific you would like to ask me about, then I will do my best to give you all the information that I can. So yeah, this has a lot of great information. Please feel free to browse that. But let's go ahead and get started. So hopefully you can all see my PowerPoint. If you cannot, just send me a message in the chat and I will make sure all the settings are correct. But yeah, again, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. My name's Andy Scott, if anyone joined late. I just want to give you a quick screenshot or snapshot of UTRGV. So we have over 30,000 students. We actually broke record enrollment this year, which was so exciting for us because in the midst of this pandemic and people being so unsure of what the next year looked like, we still had about 5,500 incoming freshmen and about 1,800 transfer students that trusted us and appreciated the communication and the class format and decided to come to UTRGV. So we were very excited to bring in that many new students. We are ranked first in the state of Texas for social mobility. So social mobility is moving around in socioeconomic status or changing income brackets. So when a student graduates with the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley bachelor's degree, they tend to make the largest climb in socioeconomic status out of any Texas university. We are a designated Hispanic serving institution, and we do have a very large population of Hispanic students. We are close to the Texas-Mexico border, so that makes a lot of sense. But this also means that we have services for traditionally underserved populations as defined by the Department of Education. So we have services for first-generation students, for minority students, and for students from low socioeconomic backgrounds to just kind of give them that extra boost to ensure their success. Being a Hispanic serving institution or an HSI means we get additional funding from the Department of Education, which is just great because then we can pass that along to students. We are the largest recipient of grant funds in the state of Texas, and we love this. We're very excited about it. We like being able to award our students lots of financial assistance. So Texas gives us the largest amount of Texas grant money, and if you're familiar with financial aid, you know that grants are money that you do not have to pay back. So we get to pass that money along to our students and allow you all to save money on your education. Our president, Dr. Guy Bailey, likes to say that we give you a quality education without asking you to finance your future. So that has been his mission since he came to UTRGV. And so we were really excited last August to get awarded the best bang for your buck in the Southern United States by Washington Monthly, and also ranked as the third best value among Texas public institutions by Money Magazine, because it just shows that we are achieving that mission and that we are providing a great education at a quality price. We have over 85 undergraduate programs. So just again, to go back to the link that I put in the chat, all of our undergraduate degree programs that will be offered next fall are listed in there. So please feel free to browse that to look and see if we have what you're interested in or if we have stuff you didn't even know you were interested in. But then if you're talking about all of our academic programs, including our graduate programs, we offer over 120 academic programs, including our School of Medicine that we have in the Valley. So I don't have all of the updated statistics for fall 2020. We are getting those, but I will give you what I have. This is for fall 2019, but I'll let you know what 2020 looks like as well. So in the fall of 2019, about 43% of our incoming students ranked in the top 25% of their graduating class. Now, I know not every school ranks, and that's fine, but out of the ones that rank, the majority of our freshmen were in the top 25%. 57% had prior college coursework, so dual credit or AP classes that gave them some college credit before coming in as a freshman. Last year, 87% received financial aid, but this fall, we actually were able to offer our incoming students, 97% of them received financial assistance. Part of this was due to the CARE Act, but still, that's almost every incoming student got financial aid. So that's just helpful. College is pricey. This is something that everybody knows. So we love that we can pass along savings to our students and give them aid money. So our fall 2019 freshman class was 4,800, but our fall 2020 class was 5,500. Like I said, and then I put in there the transfer numbers, and I just like to emphasize that even if you are coming into UTRGV and you are graduating high school with your associate's degree, or maybe you have a lot of dual credit hours and that actually classifies you as a sophomore or junior, you are still, for all intents and purposes, a freshman. So we're still gonna make you go to freshman orientation. We're still gonna treat you as a freshman with regard to housing. And most importantly, we're gonna treat you as a freshman with regard to scholarships, because our entering freshman scholarships are higher than our transfer scholarships. So even if you're going to be a junior or a sophomore, you're still actually applying as a freshman. Your academic standing might be sophomore or junior, but as an application, you're applying as a freshman student. You'll just supply us those college transcripts so we can give you credit. I just like to distinguish that because sometimes students ask that question. Okay, so we are made up of our two legacy institutions. The University of Texas Pan American was located in Edinburgh, and the University of Texas Brownsville was located in Brownsville. In 2015, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, that was made up of both campuses, welcomed our first freshman class. So we still have both locations. We have Edinburgh, which is our more urban campus. It offers about 75% of our undergraduate courses. And then in Brownsville, it's actually the larger of the two campuses. It has about 25% of our undergraduate courses. And it's more going to be a more rural feel. So in Edinburgh, there's just like a lot going on right around campus. There's places to walk, restaurants, shopping. There's a big mall not too far away. In Brownsville, there actually is kind of a lot in Brownsville, but not directly around the university. So it's got that more like small town college town feel. So we have a little bit of something for everybody, no matter what your interests are. So we actually have students that take classes at both campuses. You can take classes at any campus, no matter what your major is. You can go back and forth on the Vaquero Express, which is pictured in the top right-hand corner of the screen. So this bus goes back and forth. It picks up at both campuses every 15 minutes, starting at 6 a.m. and ending at 11:45 p.m. The bus has Wi-Fi, so you can do your homework, or you can watch Disney Plus or Netflix. You can take a nap. It's about a 45-minute to an hour bus ride, depending on traffic, but you can bounce back and forth between the two. And like I mentioned earlier a couple times, we're a little proud of the fact that we brought in such a large class, but even though we are growing, we want to make sure that we keep our average class size small. So our average class is about 21 students. That's our faculty to student ratio. One faculty member for every 21 students. And while we're bringing in all these new students, we want to continue to grow so that we have additional classroom space to be able to spread students out and not make sure that we're just cramming everybody into the same class. So these two buildings pictured in the bottom of this slide are two brand new academic classroom buildings that opened last fall. And the one on the left is in Brownsville and the right is in Edinburgh, to make sure that we can accommodate the growth of our incoming classes. So I've already told you that you can find a list of all of our degree plans in the link that's in the chat. That is our brochure that you can view online. But this is a list of all of our colleges and schools. So just a little bit of information about each. Robert C. Vacker is actually the CEO of the Burt Ogden car dealership, which is the largest car dealership in the Valley. And he made the largest alumni donation to the university to date of $17 million. So we named a college after him. So we have marketing, management, accountancy, economics, a thriving hospitality and tourism managed program. Our College of Business and Entrepreneurship is accredited by the American Association of Colleges and Schools of Business, which is an accreditation that is reserved for the top 5% of colleges and schools of business in the world. So it is a really great program, great faculty, lots of job opportunities and career fairs to help you get that job after you graduate. The College of Education and P through 16 integration houses our education programs. So we do have an early childhood education degree, a special education degree. We have our early childhood through 6th certification programs, and then our 4th grade through 8th grade certification programs. If you are wanting to teach at the high school level, you actually major in the field that you're wanting to teach, and then you do education almost as a minor. You get your student teaching and your education courses your junior and senior year. The College of Engineering and Computer Science has our mechanical engineering, computer science, computer engineering, one of the state's top civil engineering programs. We have the state's top robotics team, which we're really proud of. I actually had the pleasure of meeting with some managers for both Raytheon and Lockheed Martin last fall, whenever we could all still gather pre-COVID. And they were actually telling me how they go down to the Valley specifically to hire UTRGV engineering graduates, because the UTRGV graduates are so ambitious and tend to accelerate much quicker than other graduates, even better than some of the acclaimed programs from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So the fact that they're willing to make that 8-hour drive south to grab our graduates was really great for me to hear. The College of Fine Arts houses our dance program, our music programs, our fine arts programs, obviously. So our painting, drawing, ceramics, pottery, printmaking, photography, all of that. We do actually offer a bachelor's degree in dance and a teaching degree in dance. And in our College of Fine Arts, we also have the nation's premier mariachi program that performed at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts for President Obama a few years ago. The College of Health Professions has a huge list of degrees in the health field. So our biomedical science program is going to be one of the more, the larger attractions to UTRGV. It is a very competitive program. All of the courses in it are aimed at the student's goal of eventually going to medical school. So even your basic classes are going to be aimed towards being a doctor and working with patients on the human body. So that is a competitive program. So you actually do have to apply to that program before you enroll at UTRGV. So you'll apply to the university and then you'll apply to the biomedical science program. So just go on their website. I can pull that and put it in the chat later if I need to. I believe the application opens in January. We also have deaf and rehabilitation studies, addiction studies. We have lots of communication disorder programs. There's just several. We have a new sign language program, sign language interpretation. We're one of only 2 universities in the country where you get certified to interpret in both English and Spanish. The College of Liberal Arts houses our linguistics, our foreign language, our history, our communication program, public relations. It has our criminal justice and criminology program, which is huge because not only do our students get the opportunity to intern with local police, but they also get to intern with FBI and Border Patrol because, again, we're really close to the Texas-Mexico border, so we have national law enforcement as well as local law enforcement agencies in the area. The College of Science houses all of our natural sciences, so physics, geology, biology, chemistry. We have a marine biology program. So our South Padre Island Research Facility, our coastal studies lab, is about 30 minutes from the Brownsville campus. So not only do you have access to this really great research facility, you're close to the ocean and the beach, which is really nice. If you're wanting to study marine biology, you obviously have to be close to the ocean. So we are. The School of Nursing houses our nursing program. Our nursing program is amazing. It is, again, like biomedical science, it's very competitive. However, we also have like paths through the College of Health Professions for students who maybe start in nursing and decide they want to do something else so that they don't lose those first 2 years of credits. But you actually do your freshman and sophomore year, and then you apply to the nursing program at the end of your sophomore year. So if you're wanting to do nursing, you want to make sure you keep all those grades, especially your health and science grades, up high so that you are a competitive applicant when it's time to apply. And then our School of Social Work houses our bachelor's and our master's degrees in social work. So again, close to the Texas-Mexico border, a huge population of our students, faculty, and staff are bilingual. Being a bilingual university is actually a really huge benefit if you're wanting to study social work. If you're wanting to go into the field of social work, being able to speak both English and Spanish is a huge benefit to you when you are looking for a job. Okay, so in the COVID world, we had to adjust our class formats a little bit. So we have a few additional offerings besides just your traditional in the class lecture. So we have online asynchronous courses. So these are fully online and the professor is going to upload PowerPoints and videos and you just actually watch them whenever you can and then turn in your assignments when they're due, but it's all online. There's no specific date or time that you have to be online. We have online synchronous, which is also fully online, but you do have to be logged in kind of like this. It's a live person. The professor's going to be live, so you have to be on at a specific date and time for your lecture. We have hybrid or reduced seating classes. So some of our classes obviously cannot be taught fully online. There is a hands-on component that has to be met. So with those classes, some of the class will be online and some of it will be on campus. So for the times that you do have to be on campus, there is reduced seating. So we're still going to adhere to social distancing. Students do have to wear masks. We're going to make sure that we are doing our best to adhere to what the CDC guidelines are for not spreading the coronavirus. We have our traditional face-to-face classes. We are still offering those, but again, it's reduced seating. So we are not filling a lecture hall. We are making sure that students are able to stay 6 feet apart. And then interactive video classes are something that we've offered for a while just because we are a distributed campus. So we have Brownsville and Edinburgh. So for some of those classes where, you know, students need to get that class, there's a lot of students that want to take that class. So we might actually have a lecture hall in Edinburgh and a lecture hall in Brownsville of students taking the same class at the same time with the same professor, but the professor is in one location live streaming to the other location. So we offer that. That's not a new thing for us, but it definitely has helped with COVID to continue the social distancing. So our student success services, we want to not only get you enrolled at UTRGV, we want to make sure that you are fully prepared your first day of classes, and then we want to make sure that you graduate and that you're successful during your time there. So this slide is actually covering the services that we offer prior to coming to UTRGV. So new student orientation, if on campus, is a one-day program where you meet with your academic advisor and you learn about our online tools and how to register for classes and like buy your parking permit and all those things you need to know each semester or each year. And then we're gonna send you home, and then we're gonna do the second part of orientation closer to the start of classes, which is Vaquero Roundup. So that is another day-long program where you will spend the morning with your college, meeting students that are the same major as you, talking to faculty and staff and current students. And then at the end of the day, we have a really big pep rally, which is pictured on the right-hand side of the screen here. So that's where we teach you about the traditions, you hear from athletes and coaches, and you get excited about all things UTRGV. We usually give out some book scholarships and some t-shirts and fun stuff. This year looked a little different. So our new student orientation was done online. So students actually had a one-on-one appointment with an academic advisor where the advisor would help students get registered for their classes and talk to them about, you know, their degree plan or their roadmap, which is what we call it, to get them through the next 4 years. And then you actually did the orientation component where you learned about all of our services online through just a series of PowerPoints and videos. And then Vaquero Roundup was a week-long event where everything was online. We had the colleges and schools come on and live stream their presentations. They did Q&A sessions at different times throughout the week. And then we still had a big closing session where all the students logged on and watched the video. If any of you have logged on to the virtual college fair, it was the same platform. So that is how we did Roundup. So we'll see what next year looks like. I bet it will be a mixture of the two. Jumpstart is a program if you are not considered college ready in college algebra or composition 1. So if you have not scored high enough on the SAT, the ACT, or the STAR test, you actually have to take an exam called the Texas Success Initiative, or TSI. So if you've heard of TSI, you know what I'm talking about. So when you take the Texas Success Initiative assessment, if you do not score high enough, then you will have to take some developmental classes. A lot of students have to do that. It's totally fine. But we actually want you to take those developmental classes in the summer before you start at UTRGV in the fall, because those developmental classes actually they're not considered credits. They don't count towards your bachelor's degree. It's just a step you have to take to get to that bachelor's degree. So we don't want to set you back any. We don't want you to start in the fall and the first class you're taking is developmental and then you're now a semester behind. So we want you to do it in the summer. If you can't, we will work with you to get it done in the fall. We understand that some things come up, but we want you to do it in the summer. We have an academic advising center. So academic advising at UTRGV is centrally located. So if you switch majors, we're not going to bounce you around to different departments and offices. You're going to still go to that same office. Our academic advising center also offers major exploration. So maybe you're not sure what you want to major in. You don't have to decide until you get closer to your junior year, but we have our academic advisors there to help guide you and help you make that decision. And then our U Central office is another one-stop shop. So any enrollment need that you have, you can go to U Central. If you have a question about your student bill, if you have a question about your application, or if you have a question about a hold on your account or your financial aid award, our U Central representatives can help you, again, not bouncing you from office to office whenever you have multiple questions that need to be answered. Okay, so these are our student success services that will help you when you're actually at the university. So I can't stress enough how important it is to seek help as soon as you start to struggle in a course. Don't wait or struggle in any aspect of life. Don't wait until things are bad or you're failing a class or you're really struggling emotionally. We have lots of things available to you, and I'm just going to touch on each of those. So the Learning Center is where you go if you need tutoring in any subject. You can get it. You pay by the hour, but it is a really low cost. We also have something called supplemental instruction or peer-led team learning. So these are paired with courses that students tend to have a more difficult time with. So if there's a course that is traditionally more challenging, then we will either have a supplemental instruction or a peer-led team learning session that is already built into that course. So you don't have to seek it out. You don't have to pay any extra for it. We're just going to put you in that little extra component. So basically, a student that already took that class with that professor and made an A is going to lead these little extra sessions. So either your supplemental instruction or your peer-led team learning. They're going to guide you back through the lectures and the reading material and help you to do better in that course so that you don't suffer, because it is a traditionally harder class. We've had students that have taken it in the past that have struggled, so we want to make sure you're set up for success. This is built into your tuition, so you're not paying any extra for it. Kind of like you're getting tutoring without having to pay for the tutoring. Engaged scholarship and learning is where you go to plug into any kind of outside of the classroom learning experience. So do you want to participate in research? Do you want to study abroad? Do you want to seek out internships in your field? Do you want to participate in service learning? Engaged scholarship and learning is where you go. When I was a student, I had no idea where to plug into any of those things. So any learning that is outside of the classroom, there's one office to go to get plugged in. The Writing Center is available 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. They are online and in person. They can help you outline your very first paper, or they can help you proofread your last paper. So writing is a huge part of your grades in college. Like, there's not a lot of daily assignments. Basically, your grades come down to participation, tests, and your papers. So you want to make sure your paper is well written. So utilize the Writing Center. It is free, or it's part of your tuition. So use them. They are there to help you. We have counseling services available, again, built into your tuition, so you are not paying anything out of pocket for your counseling services. If you need to seek one-on-one help for any kind of mental or emotional issues, we have counselors available for you. If you want to attend seminars for issues that college students typically face, whether it's being away from home or time management or relationship issues, we offer those as well. So we want to set you up for emotional success. We don't want you to have to feel like mental health is something that's going to hold you back. So we have services available for you. Health services, again, built in your tuition. If you are sick and you need to see someone, we have physician's assistants, and we have nurses on campus that you can see, again, free of charge. It's built into your tuition, so not free, but no out-of-pocket cost. If you need an annual exam, you can do a lot of annual exams for free at our health service centers. We have pharmacies on campus, so you can get your prescriptions there as well. Our Career Center is there to help you draft your resume, to help you with mock interviews, so basically like practice interviews, to help you connect with alumni in the field you're going into. So utilize the Career Center, let them help you find internships and plug in and meet alumni. Our alumni are so excited to help students. So go to the Career Center and talk to them and get plugged in and get help with that resume. Make your resume pop so that whenever you're applying for jobs, yours is the application that stands out. And then our food pantry and community garden. So we don't ever want food to be a concern for our students. We have a food pantry that has lots of food and basic toiletries. So if you need those things and don't have the money to pay for them, you just go to the food pantry on either campus. No questions asked, you get what you need. You can go as often as you want. Whenever it's coming to the end of the year and students are applying for jobs and going on interviews, they actually have suits that you can rent out and use for your job interviews so that you're dressed professionally. They dry clean them, so you don't have to do that. So they're clean and washed, but you don't have to worry about that. And then we have a community garden on our Brownsville campus that students grow fresh fruit and veggies out there. So you can go and get some fresh produce. So anytime that you have an open access facility where there are lots of young people, then campus safety is something that is important and you want to address. We have the state's third largest law enforcement agency as the UTRGV police force. And we have campus police available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We want our students to feel safe and secure when they are on campus, and their families at home. We want you to feel safe sending your students to us. If you need an escort because maybe it's late at night and you don't want to walk across campus by yourself, we will provide a police escort. If your vehicle is not starting, no guarantee that our police can fix it, but they will be there to help you. And then if you lose an item, obviously, they will try to help you recover it. Now, of course, they're there for emergency situations. You can call 911. You can call our emergency number on campus. Those are both listed on this slide in the lower left-hand corner. But we also have something that's free for students called the Campus Shield mobile app. So with that app, you can actually report an emergency from your phone, and with the Wi-Fi and GPS, the police can tell what building you're in, what floor you're on, and what room you're in to get you as quickly as possible. You can also anonymously report anything that you feel is suspicious. And then we have something called the Friend Watch. So like I use this when I'm on campus. So I live in Fort Worth. Usually I'm in North Texas, but about once a month I go down to the Valley and spend a week down there just reconnecting with staff and getting trained on anything new. But I like to run around campus. So this covered walkway that you see pictured here is called the Bronx Trail. The Bronx were the mascot for UT Pan American. So we have that kind of tribute to our history with this covered trail called the Bronx Trail. But it is a mile-long covered trail that goes around campus, which is really nice in those Texas summers to have that shaded walkway. I wouldn't say that it's like a lot warmer in the Valley than it is in DFW or North Texas, but it's definitely more humid. So it's nice to have that covered walkway and get some shade from the sun. Anyways, I definitely chased a rabbit there. I like to set that Friend Watch for when I'm going running if it's late and it's already dark. That way, if I finish my run, I can just turn the timer off. And if something were to happen and that timer goes off, then it alerts campus police that something may have happened and to come check out my location. So that's just an added safety measure that we have if you're walking across campus late at night, even if it's not late at night and you just want to make sure you get where you're going okay. With a study that came out by SecureLife.com last August, UTRGV was ranked as the third most secure campus in Texas and the 31st in the nation based on 11 years worth of crime data. So we were really excited about that. We also have something called the Superhero Project. It's basically just a collaboration of a lot of offices and experts on campus that try to empower students to speak up or to do something if they feel that something's not right. So it just kind of draws on the experts that we have on campus. Like if you see something and it looks suspicious, you know, empowering our students to go and report it or to take action to de-escalate situations before they get bad. So we've been recognized for the Superhero Project. We actually nominate faculty, staff, and students that have done something noteworthy to get that Superhero Award. Okay, so obviously college academics are so important and we want you to succeed academically. However, the student experience is really important as well. Studies show that when you're involved on campus, you are more likely to have a higher GPA and to graduate in 4 years. It's because to participate in all of this extracurricular activities, you have to have a certain GPA, you have to be enrolled in a certain amount of hours. So when students want to stay connected to their friends, they tend to do better in classes because there's more on the line than just maybe not getting to attend or losing a scholarship, but it's also their social outlet, their community could go away for a little bit of time. So we have over 250 student organizations for you to plug into. We have Greek life, so fraternities and sororities. We have interest groups. I mean, anything that you can think of, there's probably an interest group. And if you do not see an interest group of something that you are really interested in, you just get 2 other students and an advisor, and you can start a new student organization. We have honor societies. So we have campus-wide honor societies, national honor societies, and then we have honor societies specific to certain majors or degree programs. And then we have a mentorship program called Engaging Peers in College, or EPIC, that you can join as a mentor or a mentee at any point in your UTRGV career. We have university recreation. So if you're wanting to, you know, get involved in intramurals and play sports, but maybe not at the collegiate level, We've got intramurals. We have outdoor adventures, which are university-sponsored camping trips. We actually have a lot of really beautiful state parks in the valley and lots of great hike and bike trails. So we like to go out camping out there whenever we can. We have 16 Division I athletic programs and are part of the Western Athletic Conference. So students can actually come to athletic events for free. And we have something called the Herd, and they are kind of like unofficial cheerleaders, I guess, like basically the student spirit section. You'll actually learn all about the Herd at the Caro Roundup. We have study abroad when we are not in the middle of a global pandemic. So prior to COVID, we had, I believe, 76 study abroad opportunities. You can do short-term study abroad. So it is organized by a UTRGV faculty member, and they take students to, some location for 6 to 8 weeks, and they teach a class that is a UTRGV class, and then they all come home. But we also have long-term study abroad opportunities where you go study at another university, one of our partner universities in another country, and you go for 1 semester to 2 years and study there long-term. And then we just have lots of activities on campus on a daily basis, whenever we can gather. Right now, most of them are virtual. But if you download this app called Corq, C-O-R-Q, it gives you a list of what's going on campus every day. So even if you're just kind of looking for maybe a burger or some UTRGV gear, you can see what people are doing on campus and go grab some gear or get some free food. So we do require students to live on campus if they are not from the immediate area surrounding UTRGV. If you're from North Texas, you are talking about a drive. It takes me about 8 hours to drive down there. So we have housing on both campuses. In Brownsville, we have an apartment complex called Casa Bella. In Edinburgh, we have 3 residence halls, Heritage, Troxel, and Unity. I will tell you that right now with COVID, we have taken 1 building of our apartment complex and then 1 residence hall completely offline. And those are being reserved for quarantine. So if students feel bad, they will be sent to one of the quarantined facilities. It's just a room for them to be in, and they've got Wi-Fi, they get meals delivered to them 3 times a day. So if they're feeling well enough, they can still attend their classes virtually, and they'll stay there until they get test results back. So when they can go back to their residence hall or their room. But we have reduced our housing capacity this year to 50%. So right now we just have 1 person in a room to, make sure that we're not spreading COVID. Again, next year, it just kind of depends on where things are, but that's what's happening this year because we want to ensure that our students stay healthy. We have living and learning communities. So if you want to participate in one of these, you can apply to be in one. They are based on your major. So with the living and learning community, you actually live in a hall with other students of your same major. And it kind of gives you like a little built-in community right away. You have a faculty advisor, you have a peer mentor. So it just gets you plugged in with other students who are pursuing the same academic route that you are and gets you plugged in with a faculty member and a current student. I have the annual cost, the range of the annual cost posted up there. Please remember this is for the entire academic year, and it includes everything. So it's your rent, your utilities, your internet, your cable, and your laundry, which I'm a little bitter about because I used to have to find quarters when I wanted to do laundry. So I think it's really unfair that students get to do their laundry for free now. But that's my soapbox, and it is not for you to worry about. There's a $50 application fee when you fill out the housing app. I will tell you this is charged to your student account, so you don't have to pay it out of pocket right then. You can actually utilize your financial aid or your scholarships to cover it later on. And we do encourage you to apply for housing by March 1st if you want to get your first choice in housing. So get that application submitted early so that you get your housing offer squared away and you don't have to worry about that at the end of your senior year. So let's talk about the price tag. So in-state tuition for University of Texas Rio Grande Valley is one of the lowest in the state. Our tuition is under $9,000 for full-time students for fall and spring. So that's the cost for tuition for both semesters. If you are not a resident of Texas, you can see that your tuition is quite a bit higher, and that's just because you haven't been paying state taxes. You have to prove that you or your family has been gainfully employed in the state for 12 months to become a Texas resident. The total cost of attendance ranges from about $17,000 a year to $32,000 a year. And this is because it kind of depends on all of the bills outside of your tuition. So How much are you paying in rent, or are you paying rent? How much do you pay for in food? How many toiletries do you buy? What's your clothing budget? So all of those things go into your cost of attendance. Cost of attendance is the total cost for everything basically to survive in college for a year. But we are really proud of the fact that our students have the lowest debt upon graduation out of any Texas public university. So going back to that mission of our president of giving you a quality education without asking you to finance your future. I mentioned earlier scholarships, so the difference in applying as a freshman or a transfer. We do offer scholarships for both freshmen and transfer students, but because freshmen are there for longer, those scholarships are larger. So if you are a freshman and you are admitted prior to December 1st, then you will automatically be considered for our merit-based scholarships that range from $20,000 to $40,000. Transfer students have to be admitted by February 1st. And again, their scholarships are a little lower, but that's because their total cost is going to be lower. So these are merit. You don't have to do anything to be eligible for these scholarships except be admitted by that deadline. But you can also go to utrgv.edu/scholarships and fill out a profile, and then it'll give you back a list of additional scholarships that you can apply for to just get additional assistance. So for financial aid, we have a really great program called Tuition Advantage. This is a financial assistance program for students whose household income is $95,000 a year or less. So if you fall into that category, check out our Tuition Advantage website. There are some academic requirements as well. But if you are admitted to the university and you have your financial aid application completed by March 1st, then if you meet all the qualifications, your tuition and fees will be covered by the university. So your scholarships and your financial aid will be applied. If there's any additional out of pocket, we will give you grant money to cover that through the Tuition Advantage program. We do offer flat rate tuition. So as long as you're enrolled in 12 hours or more, you are paying that $8,900 amount. If you're taking less than 12 hours, you pay less than that, but you're paying by the hour. So you can take anywhere from 12 to 18 hours at that same cost. So you're essentially getting any classes you take after 12 hours for free. We offer guaranteed tuition. So once you're enrolled at UTRGV, we are not going to increase your tuition for 4 years, even if the tuition costs increase for the students that come in after you. We award over $250 million in financial aid annually. This is based on fall 2019. I imagine it is even higher after fall 2020. I have some information for the FAFSA application down here. You can see our financial aid priority deadline is January 15th that I already mentioned. Tuition Advantage deadline is March 1st. FAFSA is like, your financial aid is like a big pot of soup. So those first few ladles are going to be full, but then like towards the end of the year, we're just kind of scraping the bottom of that bowl. So make sure you get your financial aid application completed as soon as possible so that you get all of your need met. The FAFSA actually opens on October 1st. So you can do your FAFSA starting in 9 days. Okay. Optional for 2021. If you are applying after 2021, just check the website and we will post whether or not we're going to be test optional. You'll submit your admission essay through the Applied Texas application, and there is no application fee at UTRGV, so it is free to apply. If you're going to start at another institution and then apply, you still fill out that Applied Texas application, and then you'll submit official transcripts from every college or university you've attended. If you have less than 24 transferable hours, we will need your high school information as well. But if you have more than 24 transferable hours, all we need are those college transcripts. And we have a document uploader, so you can actually submit everything electronically. Just go to our website and search for document portal. And then you can log in using your UTRGV email address and submit everything through the internet. You actually will get a UTRGV email account as soon as you apply. So you can use that. We will communicate with you for the most part through both your personal and your UTRGV email account. before you're enrolled. Once you're enrolled, you'll just use that UTRGV email account, but you'll use that to log in, to upload your documents or to like view your application status. So just a few dates to remember that I mentioned throughout the presentation. December 1 is our freshman scholarship deadline. January 15th is our financial aid priority deadline. February 1 is our transfer scholarship deadline. March 1 is our housing priority deadline, and March 1 is also our tuition advantage deadline. So make sure you mark those dates down on your calendar so that you don't miss any of them. Right now, our campus experience opportunities look a little different. So for the fall, our Discover UTRGV program will be virtual. So it will be really similar to the virtual college fair program that we're using. It's actually going to be the same platform. We are offering those at the end of October and beginning of November. You can take campus tours. They are limited, so you want to make sure you go to our website, which is utrgv.edu/campus-tours, and sign up for a date, because we are only allowing a few students a day to take a campus tour, and you can actually only have a student and 2 guests when you come to campus. So I'm going to throw that link in the chat really quick. You can also find registration for our events by going to this website. So I know I just threw a lot of information at you. I am absolutely happy to answer questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you can see me, and you are welcome to unmute and ask any questions you have, or you can put them in the chat as well. Or you can sit there and process the information and think if you have any questions.
Hello, ma'am. I was wondering if you could backtrack to the dates that we needed to write down. I didn't quite get them all down.
Absolutely. Hang on, I'll go ahead and share my screen again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. There you go. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. I got them.
Okay, any other questions I can answer?